How are you?
I'm good. Hi.
Hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank
Thank you for
you.
making time in your busy life to be on live here with us. So, first of all, introduction. I typically ask for people to say their name, their background, and where they are located.
Okay. My name is Cynthia Okoli.
Okay.
I'm married with kids, like you know.
How
Yeah.
many kids? I get inspiration for people that have more guts than me. You're married with how many kids, please?
All right. I'm married with six
Oh
kids.
my
Actually, I came into the
goodness.
States with five, and just a day of arrival, I gave birth to my sixth child. So,
In fact, I cannot wait to hear the story because even just traveling with how many days pregnancy, like
oh
pregnancy that is like
God,
1 day to birth, that one self is a whole story by itself.
I'm telling
But yeah, so
you.
tell us, where are you located?
Okay, I'm located in Indiana, United States of America.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. So, do you want to just share your story, or do you want me to ask you questions first? Because I'm busting with questions. I have so many questions for you today.
Let's
So
do
many.
it your way. Anyhow you want it, I'm ready for you.
Okay, so you guys, I was on this Facebook street when I realized she reached out to me and she was like, "Oh, she's in America now with her kids," and it was so exciting for me because I am here. One of the reasons why I'm here is to share my own personal story, my story of how my mom, who's a teacher, dreamed about migrating herself. And just like you, my mom had a bunch of kids. At the time my mom was talking about immigration, she already has 8 children in Nigeria. And she came to America just like you. She still added more. She had two more in America. So I find that her story very inspirational. And for me, just being able to have the audacity to think that I'm not going to let anything people say is a limitation to limit me. So tell us about your own story. How did you decide to come to America? How did it all start?
Okay. Let me just start from how I became a nurse because I am a registered nurse in Nigeria before I came to the US. Also
Okay.
registered midwife. I'm a registered nurse midwife before I came to the US.
Okay.
So when I was in secondary school, I wanted to read accounting. So I'm purely an art student.
Oh wow.
I know nothing about science. I wasn't a science inclined student. So,
Wow.
but my uncle, there's this my mommy's younger brother that lives in the States. He encouraged me to go into nursing. I was like, no, I don't know anything about this. I don't want it. But at the end of the whole thing, I heeded to his advice and I went into nursing. So after I joined nursing school, the year I joined was the year they stopped taking art students. So
After you joined.
yes,
Wow.
after I joined, they stopped taking in
Wow.
art students. So it was
Wow.
just like it is a predestined stuff from God.
Wow.
So the
Wow.
6 months BTS came and gone, and to the glory of God, I passed. Went for my council exam after 3 years, I passed, and at the end of my 3 years, I got married and started marital life with my midwifery. I was pregnant with my first child when I went for my midwifery. So I struggled and I was successful. I started practicing as a registered nurse in Nigeria. So I
What
graduated.
part of Nigeria, if you don't mind my asking? What part of Nigeria?
Okay, I'm from Enugu State.
Okay.
I did my nursing in Nsukka, Bishop Shanahan Hospital in Nsukka.
Okay.
Then I did my midwifery in Anambra, Our Lady of Lourdes, Anambra.
Okay.
But marriage took me to Lagos State.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
lived in Lagos State
Okay.
while I was practicing as a registered nurse in a private hospital because to get a government hospital in Lagos is not an easy thing. So I tried, I couldn't get one. I had to be working with a private hospital. So I was working, I was having children, I was working, I was having children
You,
and
you, you,
stuff.
were,
It was
you were
not
having too
easy.
much fun and having a lot of them children too. Okay. Okay.
I would be at work when I fall into labor. So it's not as if I take off leave before I go to labor. So that is how I've been doing it. My husband was also working. We were just trying, pushing things. Things were not easy.
I can
It was
imagine.
not easy.
I can
So
imagine.
um, as God may have it, in 2020, a friend of my husband, that the wife works with a teaching hospital in Ekiti State,
Okay.
reached out to my husband that there was a vacancy in the hospital, but we have to pay to get the job. That is how it works in Nigeria.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
They have to pay to get paid. Okay.
Yes. So we had to pay to get the job.
But
You
this job
know,
is not doing kitty. We're trying to go to doing kitty.
yes, I was trying to relocate from Lagos to
Wow.
Ado Ekiti.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So, we took the job and I went to Ado Ekiti. Meanwhile, before I got to Ado Ekiti, my uncle has been telling me about this relocation, writing exams and stuff. But because where I work, a private setting, you don't have more of registered nurses, you have auxiliary nurses. So they don't have the same vision as
Mm,
you.
mm.
Yes. So because of that, I had no clue on how to go about the exams and how to start and stuff. So I wasn't really taking it serious with my uncle. But when I got to Ekiti 2020, I met so many of my colleagues. Everybody was just reading, writing exam, reading. I was like, what is going on? So, and I reached out to them. I said, what is this? You guys should just put me through. Let me know what this is all about. So one of my colleague then that I work in the same unit, I was in pediatrics unit, children's unit. So she was actually into the exam as at then. So she helped me, she put me through, she taught me a lot of things. She showed me how to do the registration and how to read and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, how am I going to do it with 5 kids? And my husband was not living with us. He was also hustling while I was with the kids in a kitty state. So I was like, how am I going to do this? Is this going to be easy? Taking care of 5 children, working, preparing for these almighty exams. Oh, God. But being the kind of person I am, I'm an only child. And
Oh
from
wow.
childbirth till now, I don't agree to defeat. Yeah. I always go for what I want. As far as it is a legit stuff, I go for it. So I said, okay, let me just try. I started with the IELTS, the English speaking test. So I actually, when I started, my plan was to go to UK, because from the information I got, a lot of people were going to UK because it's easier than coming to the US. US takes a lot of time. You have to take the NCLEX exam, which you have to travel out of the country to take. So many people were not ready for that. That is why they choose to go to the UK.
Okay.
Maybe after practicing for 2 years, you can now cross over to the US. So when I went for my IELTS, I actually went there to get my results for the UK. But when the results came out, um, UK, you need to get 7.5 in your reading. But my reading came back 6.5.
Mm,
So
mm.
I was like, wow, how on earth can
Wait,
this be?
wait. Who said you cannot reach? Who said you cannot reach? All those exams are the most annoying thing, eh? If I,
I
in
said,
fact, I have my own story about how I escaped those exams.
God, I was like,
Whatever.
no, this can't be true. I cried. I was like, God, this exam was so draining. How am I going to do this again? So I called my friends. I told them, they encouraged me. I have friends in the UK. They encouraged me. They said I should just try and go again. That for me to go for the first time and get that I would get the 7.5 in my second test. But I was still confused. That exam, that IELTS is so draining. I was drained. Do you know, if I'm walking on the way, if I'm walking on the road, I talk to myself. People were like, is this girl running mad? What is going on with you? If I'm at work, I'll be talking. My colleagues will be like, no, Steve, take it easy now, calm down. I say these people will not understand. In this country, with how much are the governments paying me? 85,000 with 5 kids. How am I going to do that? I was like, no. So as God may have it, because He has His way of directing us towards what He plans for us. One of my colleagues gave me a contact of our senior colleague then in school. He's also in the US. I went to him. I narrated everything to him. He sat me down. He told me that with this IELTS result, you can go to US, but will you be patient enough to do the process? I said, Oga, I was told that this NCLEX, people, they go this NCLEX and they fail. How do you want me to come out with 5 children? Do you think I can do this thing? I cannot do this thing. Let me go and write this IELTS again. The man said, what are you saying? A young girl like you, look at how you are talking. Just calm down. That was how
So
I calmed down.
this your former senior, this your senior colleague. He's a nurse in America at the time. He was a
Yes,
nurse in America. Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. He was in Nigeria as at then. He was still in Nigeria doing his own process
Oh,
as at then.
okay,
Yes.
okay. Oh
So
wow, oh wow.
he now encouraged me, and he was the one that put me through and do all the registrations, everything I needed for that exam. He was the one that guided me. So that was how I picked up courage and decided to go for the US program. I said, okay, let me just try the US because
So
I can't
after the
go back for the IELTS.
IELTS, the
Yes,
next step for the US was for you to take the NCLEX exam.
yes, yes. So
Okay.
that was the next step. The next step was, is different ways. It's either you go for the NCLEX first before the IELTS. But because I was aiming to go to the
You
UK,
did.
so I needed the
Okay.
IELTS.
Okay.
Yes. Because
Okay.
once you get the IELTS for the UK, the next thing is the CBT, which is very easy. It doesn't take time. You just register, go to the center and write it. It's in Nigeria.
Okay.
So that one is very easy. So
Okay. So yeah,
that
tell
was
me about the
why.
NCLEX exams. I actually had to learn myself that this is an exam that apparently you can't do in Nigeria right now.
Yes, they don't have a center in Nigeria.
So
The
where
NCLEX.
can someone that's in Nigeria right now? Where can they write the NCLEX exam?
Okay, you can write in the Philippines, you can write in South Africa, you can write in the UK, you can also come to the US and write and go back.
Okay, so you guys here, this is why you need to start traveling. We are going to Seychelles this year. So next year we might go to Philippines. If you want to write the exam, we'll go to Philippines and write the exam while we are partying. But yeah,
So,
but go ahead.
so that was how I started the US process. He helped me do the registration with the US Nursing Board. I registered with the agency that brought me in because you have to register with an agency. So
So how did you
I
find this agency?
yeah, I have friends, colleagues that were already in the
Okay.
States. So they sent me list of agencies which I reached out to them, I wrote to them, and like 4 of the agencies contacted me.
Okay.
But the one I went with, the agency I chose that I went with, they helped with virtually all my bills.
So talk about that because that was going to be my next question. How did somebody who makes 85K a month with how many children, how did you even afford to pay for these exams? How did you afford to for the trip to Philippines to
Yes.
go and take the exam? How, like, I had so many questions. So tell us about that. What else? What exactly did they pay for?
Okay. The agency I used, their name is Westways Staffing.
Okay.
So they paid for my trip to the Philippines for my NCLEX exam.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
They paid for my hotel accommodation, a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So they also paid for my visa fee. All my family members, they paid for our visa fee. They paid for our transportation to the US, our flight ticket to the US. Yes. And they,
And what kind of visa did you get for the US?
I got the work visa.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we came in, we got our papers. We have our residence, we have our papers, we have our social security number, we have our permanent resident card, the green card.
And the agency took care of all this.
Yes, they did.
You guys, I hope somebody is here, somebody is taking notes. When I see all these things, it's not luck. This life, determination, dedication, discipline. Because like to have 5 children and even to even dream it. I keep telling people, I encourage people to dream. Because to even dream it. And you know, I one of the things I feel like is a way I differ from the average Nigerian is my own idea of what a destiny helper is. As I'm listening to your story, I feel like your uncle is definitely a destiny helper. But in
Yes,
all your story, I did not hear where you said your uncle gave you money to pay school fees. Your uncle gave you money. But the fact that he actually even told you, instead of going to go and do the accounting, God made nothing. Do you understand? It's part of why you're here
yes,
today. Right?
yes,
So in
yes,
your whole
yes.
process, can you talk about like destiny helper? Who would you consider was your destiny helpers in this process?
Okay, in this particular process, I had many destiny helpers. First of all, my uncle who started the talk, we initiated the discussion from the onset, even though I didn't take it serious at that then. Then my friends, my husband's friend and the wife helped me to get a job at Ekiti State, because if I did not move down to Ekiti State, I wouldn't be here.
Are you guys listening? Destiny helper is not only person that will give you money to start business.
Of course.
Information is power.
Yes,
Information is power. And a lot of times in life, for you to move from where you are to where you're trying to go, there's different steps. So going to Ekiti was another step was one of those steps for you.
yes. Then when
Okay.
I got to Ekiti, my friend and my colleague, she's a Yoruba lady, or not even an Igbo lady. She's a Yoruba lady, a younger colleague, but she took me as a friend and a sister, and she showed me everything I needed to know for this exam. She's in the UK.
Oh
Yeah,
wow. Oh, so she
yeah,
went to
she's
the
in the
UK
UK.
with her
Yes,
own process. Okay,
yes,
well, you guys, you can hear it now. People are still migrating. Nurses someone just asked me in my CTA class if they have opportunity to do this one and that one in healthcare. I said, do nursing. I said, just do nursing because for me, like, that one's sure, but that one's straightforward pass. But at least I have
yes,
seen you, and you are, definitely my reminder that these things are still possible today.
yes.
So
Very,
you
very
guys, while
possible.
I wrap up my own question that I have for Cynthia, if you have any questions for her, you can drop it in the comments. But I want to pivot to life in America. How long have you been in America now?
Okay, this is a difficult one because actually, life in America is good, huh? In the aspect that when you work, you see your money. You get it. When you work, you see your money. Like when I go for my 12-hour shift, what I'm being paid is like times five of what I got in Nigeria while I was in Nigeria. So you will see your money, but the stress here, yes, the stress here is on another level. Like if you
Let me see
notice
if
when
I
I
know.
came, if you
When you talk about like how long have you been here now?
a year, and we came in December 2022. This is a year and 4 months.
Okay, and your baby was born when you're here. So now you have a baby who is just a year and 4 months.
Yes.
Is she still the last born? I'm on another American baby.
I don't know.
Is she still the last born? Or is her second American baby coming?
We don't know.
Okay. Oh. So for now, you have a 1 year, 4 months old. How old is your oldest child?
She's 13.
So I can't imagine having six children between 13 and 1 a year. Do you have anybody helping out? Is your
In
husband
US,
helping? Is your mom?
in US, it's just myself and my husband. It's just me and my
America
husband.
is
It's not been easy. It's not been easy. I must confess, it's not been easy. And I'm just trying to know if I can bring my mommy over to come and help us. It has not been easy, but we keep pushing. Life in America is better than back in Nigeria, I must say. It is better. So if you have a way of relocating, genuinely, my dear, I advise you take the bold step now and do the needful.
Yep, because it's only gonna get harder.
Yeah,
It's only gonna get, so saying you can't do it now. You've heard how you guys. I don't want to be hearing any excuses again, though. You've heard from somebody who made 85,000 naira with 5 children in Nigeria, who is now in America working as a nurse. So there's no excuse. There's nothing that you cannot achieve if you actually conceive it, if you believe it, if you actually are ready to do your parts. Because if when your uncle even brought up again for you and your friends are telling you, if you are telling, you guys don't understand my life, you are a single girl, hey, it's okay for you, I have 5 children, where is the time? If you are just giving us excuses, you will not be where you are right now.
yeah,
So I think that's why I always tell people I don't want to hear your excuses. Excuses, they're just roadblocks. You did it with 5 children, right? Because you wanted to do it, not because the 5 children prevent from doing it. No, 5 children just mean that you have to do more
yeah.
to be able to achieve it. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let me see if there's any other questions that I have here. But how are the kids coping? How are the kids coping? How is your husband coping?
We are coping. Everyone is coping. Everyone is coping. We are doing well by the grace of God. We are doing well.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen to that. And can you share with us these agencies? Because this agency just described, they paid a lot of money to get you here. So do you
Yeah.
know, like, I don't know how to put it, but is there anything, are you paying this money back somehow now as you're
Yes.
working? Are you still working for the
Yes.
agency or you have a contract with them? How long do you
Yes.
have to
The
work
agency
for
that
them?
brought us back to the US, even when we came into the States, they provided accommodation for us for some months before
Oh, wow, some
we
more.
were able to.
Wow.
Yes, before we were able to get our own accommodation, and they gave us a job. So while you are working for them, you pay back those bills. They have a way of taking the bills, but you still make your money.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
So
it's
you
a
pay
win-win for
is
both you and the
yes,
agency.
yes. And it's a 2-year contract. So for that 2 years, you will pay their bills. I don't know how they do it, but I know that they make their money and we make our own money too.
Okay. I feel like just from my knowledge of back in the days with agencies, especially, I feel like probably what they do is maybe they just pay you a little less than they themselves get. Because agencies, just as they operate, people pay them and then they pay their staff. So they're making their
Yes,
money from the money that they make already by
exactly.
taking their own costs.
Yes,
Yeah, so
that is
someone
how it
said,
works.
please, can you spell out the agency or agencies? So if you spell it out, I can, and she can drop it at the end of the live session as well. But they want you to spell out the name of the agency that helped you.
Okay. Westways, WESTWAYS STAFFING services. That's
So
Westways
Whiteways
staffing
Staffing Agency.
services. Yes.
Can somebody write it down here so that other people can see it? Westways Staffing Agency, you said, or services.
Yeah, services.
So,
Services.
so Westway Staffing Services. Okay. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I will release my guest. But thank you so much for your time. I know I've been wanting to do
Thank
this for a while.
you.
Someone said, yeah, Robert Tessie, can you type it? You guys asking someone to type it. Can you, Robert Tessie, type the name of the agency? She has given it to you. Westways Staffing Services. No, staffing services. So it's Westways Staffing Services. Okay. So I guess the last question I have for you is what advice, just from your own process, someone is watching this right now and they're encouraged to start, no matter where they are, maybe they're a young nurse who is looking, what advice from your own story, in addition to what you have already picked from your story, what advice can you give anybody who is watching this right now and looking to follow the same path that you followed?
The first thing I would say is whatever you choose to do in life, put God first. When you put God first, God will direct your path. There is nothing one cannot achieve when you put your mind at it. If I was able to achieve this within a space of a year, because it was actually within 1 year that I started this process that I came to the States.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, I passed my NCLEX in May, and in December I was in US. That is 6 months after I passed my NCLEX.
Wow.
So
Wow.
if I, with 5 kids, could achieve this feat, there is nobody that can. Once you put your mind at it, yes, it will get to a stage you will feel discouraged. You have a lot of things to read. You have so many things, your friends are going out, enjoying themselves. You have to deprive yourself so many things to achieve this. You have to deprive yourself. And don't wait, because most of the things we did in Nigeria, we paid for it. Like our verification and so many other things. The ones we did, our vaccination, our medicals, we were the ones that paid those ones. So don't wait until you gather all the money, because even while I was doing it, I didn't have money. I don't even know where the money will come from, but I was so sure that God is leading me on this path and he will make way for me, and he really did. So my advice is just hand everything over to God, listen to what God has to say to you, and follow it. You can do it if you put your mind at it. You can.
I really believe it. I really believe it. You guys, thank you so much. Someone said, what are the material you use in your NCLEX preparation?
Okay. Because I don't like confusion. I used the what's it called? The Sundance textbook, and I joined online classes. I also used UWorld question bank. These are the 3 things I did. You
Okay,
have a lot of
so I think we need
material.
some of that. So say it again slowly. And you guys who asked this question, Isabella, can you write this down for us so we capture it? So say it again slowly. Number one.
Okay, I said number 1, I used the Saunders, Saunders textbook.
So
Yes,
Sanders textbook,
yes.
okay?
I also used UWorld question bank.
So you Wall, is that YOU or
No,
is that just you?
just you, a letter U.
Okay,
UWorld
you Wall
question
question
bank.
bank.
Yes.
Okay.
And I joined online classes. One is Decency Academy. I joined Decency Academy. We pay for those classes.
Okay.
Yes,
Decency Academy online courses, Saunders textbook, U World,
yes.
U
And
World
I have I
question
have
bank.
friends which who we created a WhatsApp group where we answer questions. We just throw in questions, we answer questions, and a friend of mine is also online. She's here, Angie.
I see somebody that was calling you no Sigwe from IELTS days.
Yes, and I have a friend that we also almost came in the same time, Angie, the one that
Oh
wrote Right On
wow.
there. Yes, we came
Oh
in the same time.
wow.
So she has been
Oh
my friend.
wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So that is how I did mine.
So someone says, apart from nursing, are there other career paths that agencies sponsor? I think this one might be beyond our scope, but I'm
Yes.
pretty sure that they are there. I know nursing for sure, but do you know any other professions that agencies sponsor to relocate?
I don't really know because I have friends who I have lab scientist as a friend. He has been asking me, but I haven't been able to get information about that. So I really do not know. I can only speak for what I am sure of. It's nursing. That's the one I
So you
can
guys
give
that
you
are still making
information
decision
and
of which
details.
what to study in school now, nothing sure pass. Nothing sure pass. But I know for a fact that there's some countries that are looking for teachers, especially English teachers. For some of those jobs, you can even start by working for them online. So I don't know the agencies that are trying to relocate teachers, but I know that as a teacher, you can get a job online teaching English to different people in different countries who can speak English. So anybody can do that one, you guys. You don't even need to leave Nigeria exactly. That is now to gather your money and relocate yourself without any agency. All right, if there are no more questions, I will release you. Thank you so very much for making time
Thank
to join
you.
me on this live. I really appreciate you. I know that things are, things are not like, very rosy as people think when you come to America. I know the money tree has not grown in your backyard yet. And I just want to encourage you, as somebody who have been American in it for several years. I think that this country, you have right now, your children more work, right? But I
Yeah.
think with time, you're going to enjoy the fact that you actually came here with 5 children and have six. Because I think, like me personally, one of my biggest wealth in this country is that I have people. But even outside your family, please don't underestimate the power of your network. In Nigeria, people are more friendly. You're going to make friends whether you like it or not. They will come and be your friend by fire by force. Over here, you have to put more effort and intentionality into making friends. But once you make those friends, my dear, they are still as useful, sometimes even more valuable than the friends you make in Nigeria. I have a friend who lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and every Thanksgiving, now one of our older white friend, the older white friend is actually the grandmother of one of our children's best friend, right? So
Mhm.
she's much older, but because she took custody of her child's child, so she's raising a child in her age, in her children's age bracket. But that woman, every Thanksgiving, she and her children don't even need to think about it. They are going to the woman's house. If she needs to go out of town, someone to drop the children off or pick them up from school, is that woman. You understand? So whatever activity your children are doing or they've shown interest in, I know it's even harder for you and your husband, but please try to go. All those soccer practice, that is really where you can make friends. PTA meetings, if you go to church, not service, but other church activities and stuff. So please be very intentional about building a network around you, because America can be so cold. But I believe that America is wonderful if like build the right amount of fun. Don't underestimate all the Nigerian parakpo, African parakpo, all those gatherings. Also a very good way to get your own village. Because once you have a village in this country, right now where I am in Houston, I'm in the center of Houston. Okay, most of my family live everywhere, but the center. I'm the only one here. Okay, my sister just moved not too far. I'm going to one of my sister's house, which is all the way in the north side. My best friend is in California. Her son, that is my friend's son, lives all the way in the south. So I'm here. My best friend is here. My sister is here. But I'm about to drive all the way here to go and pick her son so they can go and enjoy themselves together over here. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that for me is the power of that connection.
Yes.
Because people will do a lot for you once you are in their tribe, once you are in
Yes.
their circle. So
Yes.
please don't be shy about being intentional, forming that circle. These
Mm-hmm.
children will bring you so much blessings. I can't wait to share more wins with you. With
Amen.
all the very
Amen.
best. God bless you and give my love to your kids and your husband, okay?
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your live session.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. Anytime, anytime. Thank you so much for making
All
the
right.
time.
Okay.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
love.